Okay, hi YouTube. This is Porshana. You guys, a lot has happened since I last did my last video. Okay, first of all, trying to see how I can break this to everybody. Okay, let's see. I think my last video was when I was maybe 34 weeks or maybe 32. So it's been a while since I've been on. Okay, let's see. Let's rewind backwards. Okay, Wednesday I was 35 weeks in 4 days. Okay, 35 weeks in 4 days. My whole day started out really good. I went to work. Didn't too much happen, anything wrong. I mean, the whole day was good until around maybe close to 5 o'clock. And around 5 o'clock is where I help serve dinner for my residents. And I was helping out with the dinner. And I get out the way. I was in the kitchen, and I felt like somebody kicked me in my stomach really hard, and I assumed that it was Kyaden. But right after that, it was like a little pop. So I was automatically alarmed. I was like, whoa. And then at first I was like, well, that was a big kick. I mean, it was a kick that I know was pretty strong for him to be kicking. I know his kicks, and that kick was pretty. It was kind of shocked me. So after the pop came, I felt like a little drizzle down my leg. So I went into the restroom. Well, I'm assuming that I was bleeding, and I was kind of panicking. I was like, oh my God, I'm bleeding, because I did not want to go through this again with the bleeding. So I rushed to the restroom, and I checked myself. There was no blood, but there was a hole. Maybe my underwear were soaked. So what happened was my water broke, and it came as a shock because I've never ever felt my water break before, especially with Caleb, because it was broke. It was broke by the doctor, so I didn't really know what to experience. So we called the ambulance and stuff, and they came pick me up and took me to the hospital. And they was like, definitely you broke your water. I said that I guess amniotic fluid gives off a certain, smell. And the EMTs were so, it was well, yeah, you broke it, and we can tell. And I was like, how? And he was like, well, it gives off a certain smell. So that was the fact. So I got to the hospital. Water broke around about 5:30. I got to the hospital. They hooked me up and stuff and put me on monitors. And it took a while for them to get there. And they checked me, and they couldn't tell how many centimeters I was. And the reason why is because my pelvis is tilted. So they weren't sure what was going on. So it took about 3 people to try to check and see if I was dilated or any. That was the worst pain ever. And finally they said that I was dilated to a 3. So whether I liked it or not, this baby was in my head was gonna come. They put me on the monitors and everything, and immediately they had me on oxygen. They had to get all my information in, because apparently the day before, well, that was the same day I went to the doctor. I had a doctor's appointment, and I had got my group B test done that same day. So they were checking me, and they're trying to get all my stuff in, information. And then finally, I think, around, it was about 6 o'clock. Around 7, they checked me again, and I was a 4 or 5. So yeah, I was in labor, you guys. I was really going. So I think when my water first broke, I was just cramping a little bit. It was mouth cramps. For 2 hours, I just laid there. I didn't feel anything. No contractions, no nothing. Just little mouth cramps that just been there. I think when I hit like maybe 6 centimeters, and that's probably around, let's see, 7, about 9, his heart rate started dipping, and they kept having me switch back and forth, and the whole time I really laid on my left side because that's the side I always laid on when I was pregnant, and that's the side I always felt him move the most when I laid on my left side. So they had me lay on that side because he was just dipping me. He just, if I turned some other kind of way, his heart rate would go down. So they kept me on that side, and they kept me on oxygen. And I started contracting. I mean, contractions were like boom, boom, boom. They just kept hitting. They were just going and going and going and going and going. And like after a while, I couldn't take it. I think I got to like a 6, and then I was like, I can't take it anymore. So I think I had on a little bit longer. I'm trying to think. After that happened, they checked me again, and I didn't think I can progress anymore. So they were thinking about giving a C-section because of the fact that every time that I moved or every time I had a contraction, that he wouldn't tolerate it. They didn't put me on Pitocin for a while because I was contracted by myself so much that they didn't need to keep, adding more, fuel to the fire, so to speak. So they was like, we're not going to give you any Pitocin because you're already contracting it on your own, and whatever your contractions are making your baby move down. So yeah. So finally got down to nitty gritty. They was like, I think it was probably about, it was the next morning. I left all the way to the next morning, and I still wasn't, I was progressing, but very slowly, apparently not so high they thought I should be. So they had already prepped me for C-section and everything. They were saying that they would have to get the doctor to, give a okay for them to go ahead and admit me to the surgery. So we waited, and finally the doctor came in, and she was like, if you're not having progressed any, we're going to have to go ahead and go with the C-section because your baby's not tolerating the labor. So I was, at that time, I thinking like, man, I don't failed again. And, as you guys know, I had already wanted to try the VBAC because that was my goal, and to hear that come out her mouth, I was like, oh my goodness, I just can't do this no more. So she got down and checked me. She's like, oh no ma'am, you're already fully, you're full, you're ready to go. So I was ready to push you guys. They had gave me the epidural, I think around 2 o'clock in the morning. They gave me my epidural, and what happened was when I got the epidural, it did in my left side, the side that I was laying on, but the other side did not get any medicine. So I was contracting in my right side. That was the worst pain ever. So they had me start pushing, and I pushed. Like I started pushing around maybe 2:30 in the morning. I started pushing. It was, I tell you guys, I have a newfound respect for every woman that don't had about 3 or 4 kids and vaginally. Pushing is hard work, you guys. Very hard work. It takes a lot of energy. And I felt at the time that I was just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. And I was like, this is never going to end. I'm going to end up having a C-section anyway because I can't get the baby out. And they were pushing. They was like, push. And I was like, it's like I was pushing and like nothing was happening. But to me, that's how I felt. But apparently, otherwise, what they were looking at, I was doing something. But what happened was he had got stuck under my pelvis, so they had to use forceps on him. And they said they used the forceps to lift him up, but they didn't use the forceps to pull him. They just used the forceps to lift him up so I could push him out. So I'm pushing. Finally, he came out. He didn't scream or anything. They had already told me that he probably would end up going to NICU because he was 5 weeks early. So he came out. He didn't say nothing, guys. He was like dead quiet. But I guess it's because he was sleeping. They had to like start moving him and rubbing him and stuff, and then he started crying. And when he did not stop. As far as tearing, you guys, I did not tear because of me pushing. They tore me because of the forceps that they put in. When they put them in, they ripped the inside of my vagina, and it was like a 20-degree rip or whatever they were saying. So as far as me being cut or anything, I didn't have an episiotomy. I didn't have anything. He was born at 3:03 in the morning, Thursday morning, August the 23rd. He was 6 pounds 4 ounces and 19.5 inches long. When he was born, I was like so happy, guys. It was like it was just like, wow, that's my baby over there crying. And it didn't really get to me, it didn't like hit me until like he started crying like really loud, and I just thought I couldn't stop. I mean, it was just like, I mean, everything had finally came together, guys. It was like stuff. It was like stuff that was in my dreams. Like, I was like, wow. So I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys how he looked. He's probably asleep. What, baby? Put him up. He's probably asleep right now, but I'm going to show you guys my little bundle. Let me go get him. Cause he's asleep.
Mama.
Okay, what you do?
Mama.
We're going to flush clothes, girl. Okay, you guys. This is my baby. This is Kyaden. Isn't he pretty? He's handsome. Say hi, everybody. I'm sleeping. Well, he was 6 pounds, so he was a normal size to be for preemie, and he did not go to the NICU, you guys. He went to the big baby nursery. He did have a case of jaundice, which he had to stay in the hospital an extra day, but they got the levels down to where he can come home, and I did get to stay with him in a room while he went through his phototherapy. He did lose some weight while he was in there. While he was in the hospital, I think he came out, he was 6'4". When he left, he was 5'15", I think. But he's had his doctor's appointment, his 2-3 checkup, doctor's appointment, and he's gained all his weight back plus some more, so he's healthy, you guys. We did have a little scare last night. I took him to the hospital because he has a big knot on his head, and we're assuming that it's from the forceps that they used on me. And I'm thinking that maybe they hit him in the head on accident or whatever when they were trying to lift him up. But the doctor's saying that it's just the way his head is growing. But if anything else, like if it grows any bigger or getting bigger, I need to take him back to the ER. So we're praying about that. Hopefully that doesn't happen. But this is Kyaden, you guys. And he is exactly 7 days old. And I'm sorry, guys, it took me so long. It took me so long to do this, but I had to make sure that everything was okay with my baby. Say hi, YouTube. I'm finally here. A little early than I'm supposed to be, but I'm good. Okay. But anyway, you guys, that is the exciting news. I am now a mother of 2, a beautiful girl and a beautiful little baby boy. He's probably hungry now, you guys. But I will be doing weekly updates on him. And this time I promise to keep a little bit more posted than I have been, because I mean, like I say, this is just a whole whirlwind. I really don't even know what today is. I had to ask my mom today. She just came over today, and I had to ask her what day it was because I wasn't even sure. I'm just now getting back on track. And I'll probably do another video of my stomach and stuff and how it went down. And it has went down pretty fast. I am breastfeeding, but I'm breastfeeding and I'm bottle feeding at the same time. He eats every 2 to 3 hours. At first it was 2 hours because since he was premature, it's every 2 to 3 hours, but it's every 3 hours now. He eats about maybe 3 ounces, close to 3 ounces. He's probably hungry now, you got it. Anyway, you guys, I will talk to you later. Love you.